Hi, welcome to Code Essentials. Today I'll be showing you how to create a React project using Vite. So most importantly, we shall be creating React application using Vite as the newest version of React says. Then later on we shall create this form using React, and then we shall also implement some use state so that we can toggle the password to see and also to hide the password. Now I've just created this. You can see this website is just a single page. I have an H1 there that says welcome to React and Vite beginner project, and then another heading, then the paragraph, and then the input fields where we can enter our first name, last name, email, password. We can toggle the password. If I try to type in something like test, I can click on show password, then you can see the password. I can click again to hide the password. I can confirm my password, and also you can submit. But this is just for designing. So without wasting much time, let's get into the tutorial. Now, I'll also recommend that you check out on this website, DigitalOcean, where they actually giving out step by step how to create a Vite project in React, and also you can also check out the React documentation on how to install or how to create a React application with the different frameworks like Next and Remix, Gatsby, and so on. Okay, I have created a new folder in my desktop called React plus Vite. So I'm going to drag and drop it into my Visual Studio Code like that. Then I'm going to view, then terminal. Okay, so I'm already inside my React plus Vite folder. So the next thing is to create a Vite project. So to create a Vite project, you can type in npm create, then I can say Vite at latest. So this command is going to install Vite, the latest version of Vite. If you're using Yon or whatever you are using, the procedure is the same. So if I type in npm create Vite at latest, click on enter, then this is going to create a Vite project, the latest version. So you can see it asks me to enter the project name. I can just type in dot to ensure that I'm working with the root folder that I've just created. So if you want to give it a name, you can give it a name you want, let's say test or any other name. But for me, I'm just going to click on dot, then click enter. The package name, I can say React Vite, and then I can select the framework I want to work with. So you can see you have vanilla, Vue, React, P-React, Plate, and so on. So I'm going to select on React. So use your down and up keys to select. So I click enter. Then the language is JavaScript. So you can see it has generated the Vite project here. So the next thing you can see, it tells us that done run, npm install, then npm run dev. So I'm going to type npm install. This is going to install the node modules that we shall use to run our React project. So npm install, give it a minute to install. Okay, it is taking much time because my internet is slower, but we can wait. Okay, so the npm install installs the node modules that are required to run our React application effectively. So it is installing the node modules that we shall use to create our project. It's almost done. Okay, now it is done installing the node modules. You can see the folder is here, node modules, and then we have our vite project with React. So the next thing is to run npm run dev to run the vite project in the browser. Okay, so you can see we are told here that vite version 4.3.9 ready in 1 minute. So the localhost is 5174. I'm going to hold on control key, then press. Now this is the vite+react project, the default page that vite generates for us. So you can click on count, and then you can count using use state hooks in React. Okay, so we are going to clear up everything so that we work from scratch. I show you how you can create a form, then implement some use state hooks in React. Okay, so I'm going to the source folder, click on app CSS, so you can close the terminal. So I'm going to, inside the app CSS, I'm going to clear everything like so. Then I'm going to also in the index CSS, I think I'm going to clear everything from here. Then I clear some CSS up to this point. Okay, so again, look at my project. This is what I have. I go back to app.jsx, then I clear everything from the React fragment up to this point. Then I can also clear these imports. So here I can create a div. I can create a div and give this h2 or 3. So I say h2 and say welcome to vite plus React project for beginners. Okay, so you can view this in the browser, and then you can see I have the h2 that says welcome to vite plus React project for beginners. Now I also want to center this div, so I can give it a class name of, let's say, the name you want. I can say first, so I say first, then I come to app.css, then I give the styles. Okay, so I can say display flex, align item center, justify content center. Then the div is centered. Okay, now the next thing is to create our first component. So I'll head over to source folder, create a new folder, call it components. Then I can create my first component, so the form.jsx. Then I can type in RAFCE. If you cannot find the shortcut for creating a functional component in React, then make sure you have installed the ES7 plus snippets. So search ES7 plus, then you can install ES7 plus React, Redux, React Native snippets. Okay. Now the next thing in my form is to create a form, the input fields. So I'll come here inside the div. First, I can give this div the class name as new form. Then I give it the form tag. I don't need the action, but I need the class name. So I can say class name form. Then I can also give h3 that says this is our React. This is our React form. Oops. This is our React form. Okay, for now it will not display because we have to go to main.js to import, not main but app. I don't think if it is the app.js, but I think it is the main.jsx. So we import the form. So I say form from the form component. Okay, you can see it imports automatically. So I can go here and you can see it displays this is our form. There is a type issue. So I say this is our React form. So then I can give this a class name. I say title. So the next thing is to create the fields. First, I can also have the p tag that says sign up here. Okay, then create another div with the class name of flex. Then inside here I can create the labels. So label, then the input field, input, the type is text, then it is required, and also you can give the placeholder, and you can also give the class name. So you can say class name as input. So the next thing is the span, and the span is first name. Okay, so I can copy this for the last name. So I can say last name. So you can see I have the two fields, first name and last name. Okay, let me give these classes. So the paragraph, I can give it the class of message like that. Then I can head over to app CSS so that I can give the styles. Okay, so the app CSS, we start with the form. I can move this one here and this one to the other side. Okay, so we start with the form. So I say class new form, class new form. Then I can also display flex. I think I can just copy this one. Then I can confirm. You can see they are centered. So the next thing is the new form h3. Still the same. Okay, the next style is now the form itself. So I type form and say display flex direction, column, gap 10 pixels, background color white, padding 20 pixels. Next is border radius 20 pixels, and then the next one is position. So I say position relative. Okay, now I can continue giving my form the inputs because we only have two, but we need more. So here I can type in another field. So after the div, I say another label, and here I say input, the type is text, not text but email. So we need an email, required. So required placeholder empty, and then the class name is the input. Then you can give the span and say email. Then I can copy this and the type is the password. So the password here, it can be start with the text, and then the span is password. Okay, so the next one is also the confirm password. So still the password, and here I can say confirm password. Then after that, after the label, you can have a p tag with the class name of submit. So submit, then I say submit. No, I think this should be the button. This one should be the button, submit. Then the paragraph with the class name of sign in. So sign in. Then I can say already have an account, so have an account. If the person has an account, then he can just sign in. So I type A and say sign in. Sign in. Okay, now let us see how it looks like. So this is how it looks like before giving the styles. So you can give the styles. So the next one is the next style is the title. So I can say class title. I can say color, RGB. You can give the color you want. I can say 225, 124, and then 65. So it is there. The next one is the message and the sign in. So I can say color, RGBA. So red is 88, green is 87, blue is 87. Then here you say 0.822. Then font size 14 pixels. So the next one is the sign in. We say text align center. The next one is the sign in anchor tag. I say color. I can say royal blue. And then the next one is the sign in anchor tag on hover. Then I say text decoration underline, and the color is RGB. Red is 202, green is 210, and blue is 234. Okay, we can preview this. Okay, now let's continue with styling. So we move to the flex. So this is the flex, this one. I can say flex. Okay, so flex display as usual, flex. Width is 100%. So I say 100%. Next one is gap, 30 pixels. Okay. The next one is the form labels. So I say form, and the label position relative. So I say position is relative. Okay. So the next one is the form label input. So the input is the class, so I put class. Then I can say width 100%, padding top is 10 pixels, right 10 pixels, bottom is 20 pixels, and left is 10 pixels. Outline 0. Then border I can say 2 pixel solid RGB. RGBA. Then red is 105. Green 105. Blue again 105. Then here I say 0.397. So the next style is border radius. I say 10 pixels. Next one is font family, but I will not give it now. There is something I want to show you. So I move on to form, label, input, and I add the span. Okay, so I say position absolute, then left is 10 pixels, top 10 pixels, font size 0.9, rem, cursor, pointer, okay, cursor is text, then transition I can say 0.3 seconds is, then I move to the next one is the form labels input. So this is the class input, and the placeholder shown plus the span. If I say top 15 pixels, font size 0.9 em. I guess this is em, and also this is em. Okay, so the next one is again the form, but we can preview this in the browser and see what we are creating. So I think it is coming out. So this placeholder is the span. It's not the normal placeholder, but this is the span. Okay, so we continue with the style. So I say form label. The next one is the input. Input. So I say input valid, then add the span, say color, RGB 255 225, I mean. The green is 124, the blue 65. All right, and then the next one is the submit. So this is the button, submit. You say width, you can say 100%, border none. Oops, so you say border, then we say none. The next one is outline. I say none. Background color, so I say RGB with 225. So I think the background color is just the same as this one, so I can copy this. Okay, so the next style is padding, 10 pixels. The next one is border radius, 10 pixels. Color, you can say white. Font size 16 pixels, say 16 pixels. Transition, transition is 0.3 seconds is, and then the last one is the cursor pointer. So the next style is submit. So I say submit on hover. I say background color, RGB, then I say 101, 115, then 233. Okay. Then I move on to the last style. So keyframe, I say pulse. So I say from transition, scale I say 0.9, then opacity I say 1, then 2, transform. Oh, this should be transform, scale of 1.8 to, then opacity I say 0. Now let us see the style of our form. So we have a form there, but it looks like I missed some styles. So I think we also have another class here with focus. So I can say form label input, then I say focus plus span, then the form label input focus input valid, and I say top 30 pixels, font size 0.7 em, and font weight is 600. Okay, yeah, so padding here is, the top here is 30 pixels from this to this. Okay, now I wanted to show you something here on the font family. So I wanted us to customize the font family for the form, the label inputs. So I'll put the link in the description. So come to your browser and search CDN fonts, then click on the first one from CDN fonts, then you can search italic, then you can choose whatever the the font family we want to use. So let's say maybe I want to use something like let's say this one. So I'll come there, I'll copy this. So you can see the instructions are to embed your selected fonts into a web page. Copy this code into the head of your HTML document. So I'm going to copy this, then go back to my VS Code, to the index HTML. Inside the head tag, I can say CDN fonts, and then paste it there. Then go back to the web page. I go with specify in CSS, so use the following CSS rules to specify this family. So you can copy this, then go back to my app CSS down here, and I paste it there. So you go back to our project, you can type in your name, then you can see the font. So you can say, I type in somebody like James, I say Lee, and the email I can say james at gmail.com. Then the password, you can say test password, you can say test. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you. I think now the next thing is to implement the React hooks. So go back to the form, and we are going to import. First of all, we need to import useState from React. So I can just import from here. So I put a comma there, then I say use useState from React. Then I come down here and I say const password set password equals useState, and the password initially it should be empty. Okay, then the next one should be const show password. I can say show password, then set show password equal to useState, and here I type in false. So initially I want my set show password to be false. So when I shall click on the checkbox, then it shows the password. Okay, so down here I can say const handle password, const handle password change equal an arrow function that says set, and we call our set password, which should be event dot target dot value. Then we need to put value, not value but event, so that we can reference down there. Now the next one is const handle handle toggle password change is equal to an arrow function that says set show password is not equal to, is not show password. Okay, so to implement this, we need to go to our input fields where we have the password and the show password. So this is the password. So inside the input, and that type, what is the type? So the type here, we can destructure this and say show password. So we write an if statement, if show password, then we are going to show the text, else we show the password. So by default, the password is in dot format. So if not, then if we toggle the password, then we show the text. Otherwise, we shall just show the default password. Then the value is the password. The value is the password. So the value is the password. Maybe that one. Then on change, let me do something like this so that we can see clearly. So I can say on change, then I want to handle the password change. I want to handle password change. Okay, then the next one is now the show password or confirm password. So I say, I think I need the show password here. So I can say show password. I think I need the label. And this label will say show password, show password. Then the input can have the input. The text is the type is the checkbox. Checkbox. Then checked, then we show password. Then on change, we want to handle toggle password, right? Okay, let us see how it looks like. So we have this one, we can show the password. So let me type something. So the name is can type the name, then I can say Lee. The email is james@gmail.com. The password is test. So I can see the password, then I can confirm the password and then submit. I don't want to save. Okay, so you can see it is working. If you type in anything here, then click on show password, then you can see the password. If you uncheck it, then you go back to the default type of the password. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you, but most importantly was to create a React project with Vite, and then this was just by the way so that I can show you how you can create something out of the Vite and React together. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.